Welcome to this edition of PSD Sports Talk. I'm your host, Randy McCoy, along with my partner, David Haase. And today we're talking to Fossil Ridge SaberCat boys coach, Matt Johannsen. It's good to see you, Coach, here on this cold day. Just want to ask you a couple things. Give us an overview and summary of your season so far, just kind of where you think your team is and where you've come from and where you are at kind of in your progression of the season.
Well, thanks for having me, and it's good to be here with you guys, and thanks for all the things you do for our kids. It's a wonderful thing. You know, it's been an interesting year. Our kids have really grown this year, and I think we're on the right track. Time will tell, but you know, we're progressing nicely, and we're looking forward to finishing up the season strong.
We talk about the wins and losses, things like that, but let's break it down to some of your players you've got on your team. You've obviously got a headliner as we see some clips that'll start here momentarily, but you know, Braxton Bertolette, easy headliner to pick out. Talk about his year so far.
Well, Braxton is, you know, and you can see in some clips here that, you know, he's an exceptional offensive talent. You know, one of the best that I've seen in my 23 years of coaching. But, you know, beyond that, he has really committed to becoming a more complete player this year. You know, and it's not just shooting, it's not just scoring. Yes, he, last time I checked, I think he was leading 5A in scoring. You know, one of the things that, you know, he's done a great job of is getting his trying to get his teammates involved and buying in on the defensive end as well. So, you know, he's doing some good things.
Well, it's a five-man game, so you talk about you get another sharpshooter with Jackson Everhart, a proven varsity player for you. But let's talk about Jackson and some of the other players you've got too.
Yeah, Jackson, he brings an energy element to our team, and he does a great job with that. You know, him and Braxton, like you said, are the only two kids we have with varsity experience from last year and the year before. So it's good to have them on the floor, and it's good to have their toughness and battle-tested abilities in there. Garrett Schmidt is another one scoring at a pretty good clip for us, and you know, doing some good things on the defensive end as well. So you know, those seniors, and then you throw in guys. You know, we're kind of doing a big man by committee kind of thing with Colby Ripsum, Josh Grove, Cameron DeHart, and now Nick Girardi is really contributing in there as well. So, you know, we've got some good guard play from Mike Schilling, and you know, he's doing a good job there, and Cole Schilling, no relation, but doing a nice job as well. So, you know, that's kind of our core of guys that we have, and the guys that are doing a nice job for us.
You know, the Front Range League is always tough, but this year it seems like it's tougher than it's been in a while as far as just being balanced, and on any given night it seems like almost anybody can get beat or win a game, and and it seems like you all have been in the middle of that because there's high expectations here. We know that for Fossil Ridge, but talk a little bit about the league and just where you see the league at right now. And
well, the league is extremely competitive, and you know, it's like you said, I think you hit it right on the head. Anybody can win on any given night, and anybody can lose on any given night. So we're trying to prepare for everybody the same. We're trying to let the kids know that we need to respect all our opponents. We don't fear anybody, but we got to know that we got to come in and take care of our business, and we just can't overlook anybody. You've seen some crazy scores in our league, some different outcomes than you would think. So, and I don't think that's going to change in the last 7 or 8 games in the season. I think there's going to be some upsets along the way, and hopefully we can be on the right end of those.
Hopefully it's not. Well, and the other thing we noticed, and we talked about this earlier, is you all have played a lot of road games this year. It seems like a lot of really, really tough road games that has obviously, you know, you haven't won all those, but it's also made you tougher, I would think.
Yeah. You know, when you sit down to make a schedule, you want to make sure that you're testing your kids, but you're not overwhelming them. And I thought that you know, the schedule that we put together is one of the more rigorous schedules that we've ever had. And so I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of the kids for competing, doing what they've done. Yes, we played some very good teams. You know,
a big win over Regis.
Regis on the road was a big one. Mountain Vista on the road, they're a very good team, and they're playing much better than they were in the beginning of the season. Their growth has been pretty awesome. You know, Highlands Ranch on the road is not an easy one. You know, we've got a tough schedule. You know, we're out of town for a tournament. Lewis Palmer is playing probably some of the best basketball in Colorado. So, you know, we've had those battles, and you know, that's not even going into the very good conference battles that we're going to have, and we've already had. You know, throw out the records when you get into a city game. You know, Poudre Rocky Collins is going to be a dogfight. I don't care how good the record is or how poor the record is. It doesn't matter. You step into a city matchup and anything can happen. And I think that's one of the fun things about playing the city teams.
Well, as a veteran coach, and you talk about now in your 12th year with Fossil Ridge, it's not all about wins and losses. I mean, certainly that's an easy way to measure every season, but you get to affect the lives of your players. And beyond that, what do you hope they take from being part of the SaberCat program?
Well, I take a lot of it from my junior college coach, Bob Davis, and one of the things he had one of these little dot matrix. You know, it was old. That tells you how old I am. But yeah, there you go. Yeah. One of those big printer signs over his desk that said relationships are number one. And I've tried to carry that with me, and I've tried to instill that in the kids, that everything we do revolves around relationships. And so we're trying to create relationships that last, you know, a lifetime, hopefully, and, you know, across classes, and knowing that the kids represent something bigger than themselves here when they play in this program. We represent our community here at Fossil. We represent our community of Fort Collins, Northern Colorado. You know, anytime we travel, you know, we remind each other of that. You know, we're representing something. And so hopefully the kids will understand that no matter what they do in their life, you know, and they understand that relationships, whether it be with a significant other or, you know, an employee or a boss or whatever, that their relationships are really what matters.
You know, you've had one of the most successful programs over the last 5 or 6 years, and you've been here 12 years. You're the only basketball coach that this school has had. Just reflect a little bit on those 12 years of the first practice of the first day. You know, we interviewed Coach Glessman yesterday, who was one of your assistants, I believe, the first 2 years. And so just reflect briefly on the 12-year run, going from, I don't know if you started 2A or 3A, but going up to 5A, making that jump, and your first year of 5A going to the Elite 8. And
unfortunately, we started at 4A.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we started with freshmen and sophomores. And so, you know, we started out, somehow we won 3 games that year, 3-20. But literally, I was going up to guys and saying, hey, you look like you could play some basketball. Would you come out, please? You know, you look like an athletic young man. Yeah, going from that and, you know, to where we're at now, it's pretty surreal. And looking back, it was funny you mentioned that, because I was going through some old pictures the other day. Mitch Ackelson is one of my coaches, and we were trying to find a picture of him when he was on his freshman year to show some of the freshmen that he coaches right now how young he looked. He looked like he was about 10 years old. But looking back on that, I found our staff picture of who we had. You know, Chad Sauls was on that staff, Curtis Glessman, Nate Haase, and Jamie Menifee. And you know, it's back in those early days where me as a coach, those guys taught me a lot, my assistants, and you see how successful they've been. Kurt runs one of the best programs in the state, boys or girls, and he does a great job. Chad, same way. Those guys are amazing, and I learned a lot from them. Hopefully they learned something from me, but that's what it's all about, and that gets back to that relationship thing. And I'm very proud of those guys, and I'm very happy for them, and I cheer for them night in, night out.
Yeah. Well, you are kind of the dean of basketball coaches here in Fort Collins. So
I'm old and I've been here a long time, right?
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, right? Yeah.
Anyway, so we hope to see you go deep in the playoffs. I know you do too, and it should be an exciting playoff for the city of Fort Collins. Several teams that could either surprise some people or do some things in the playoffs, boys and girls. So we hope to see you do that. So anyway, thank you again for watching PSD Sports Talk, and we will see you next time.